Welcome to the Joey's Movie Blog podcast. I'm your host, Joey Strandberg, and today I'm joined by Cody from the Brockopp side.
Hey, what's up?
So, before we get started, maybe explain to the audience what you do on YouTube.
Well, basically, I'm a movie channel, but to boil it down even further, I talk a lot of physical media type stuff, Blu-ray reviews and unboxings, things of that variety generally, as well as a little bit of, a little bit of nostalgic stuff like Blues Clues and the occasional Captain Underpants review because apparently people like watching that stuff from me for some reason.
Didn't you buy I saw on Twitter that you bought the Blues Clues salt and pepper shakers?
Yeah, I was just like, I was at box lunch at the mall and they had them there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not gonna use them; they're just gonna sit on my shelf as like a knickknack of sorts. But I'm like, yeah, I gotta have this. Okay, just
um. Okay, so with our first topic today, the first real big news is that we got a Superman reboot in the work from Ta-Nehisi and J.J. Abrams. So what are your overall thoughts on this?
Well, to begin with, I can't help but feel like that kind of signals the end times for Henry Cavill as Superman, which I feel really bad for the guy because I feel like he's really gotten the short end of the stick with everything, and it's a real shame too because I really like Henry as Superman. I've always been on his side as far as, people talking about it and all of that. So I mean, I really would like to see him again. This doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be like the end of it. This could just be like in like an alternate universe type thing, where you got like the DCEU, then like you have Matt Reeves universe, and this could be a totally separate universe there. But it just I'm glad they're finally trying to do more Superman content, but it's like I don't want to say goodbye to Henry yet, man.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm glad that we're getting another Superman. But I also find it a little weird that they are announcing this. Like, didn't they just air the Superman and Lois show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I find it a little bit weird that they announced it like the day after that aired.
Yeah.
And then I don't really know who Todd Hesse is.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm trying to see if this article has anything about him. But like, yeah, I don't know. And then, like, haven't there been for a while like rumors been floating around about JJ doing a Superman movie?
Yeah, those rumors been floating around for years actually. And he actually came pretty close to making a Superman movie back in the 90s, I think, called Superman Flyby, which coincidentally Henry Cavill actually auditioned for that movie way back when. I could be wrong though, but I know he was working on one, so it kind of seemed like inevitably J.J. Abrams was going to be attached to something Superman related, which I think he'd do a good job for a new Superman project. But now that it's finally getting off the ground, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then I also heard that they're wanting to do a black Superman for this.
Mm-hmm.
And the reactionary YouTubers are losing their minds over this news.
Yep. Oh, change is bad.
That's like, it's like any time something, but like I'm hoping this is like a Matt Reeves Batman situation, where like we got someone very passionate about the character,
Mm-hmm.
and we and I'm hoping this movie is at least decent, but I am disappointed that we're not getting a Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, me too.
That's like, and I know some people are like, "Oh, but Batman versus Superman was Man of Steel too," but like,
No, it was not.
but like, I don't really like. We haven't really seen the like. I wanted to see like the post Justice League Superman stuff, like what
Me
happened
too. Yeah,
after.
I would love to see that aside from just, a body double at the end of Shazam. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Because the
uh,
whole idea was like, Superman died, then he came back, and we'll see how like the Snyder Cut plays out. But I feel like at that point when he comes back to life, it's like, oh, now he's gonna be a lot more in line with people's general thoughts of Superman, I guess. So I was really hoping we could get to see that, continuing of his journey to be like, oh yeah, this is the Superman that maybe smiles and is a little more friendly towards people in the way that the kind of way that most of us think about that way. So I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. I'd like to.
like also having like him being like the like one everyone loves instead of just mentions of it, like
Mhm.
in Justice League.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to talk about the Justice League because we're getting the Snyder Cut in a couple weeks, so
Yeah.
that'll
Oh
be
wow,
cool.
I am still in shock that that's only like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, me too. I was just surprised it actually is happening too. I mean, I
What's
remember.
funny, like the day before they announced it, like when everyone was all speculating that it was gonna come, I did a live stream saying that like I doubt it was coming, and then those comments quickly aged.
Yeah, I never really said it was not gonna happen or was going to happen. I was like, I'm not like fighting for it on the internet, but it's like if
Oh
it
my
if
god.
it if it did come, I would welcome it with open arms, kind of thing. And I remember watching that Man of Steel watch along part that Zack Snyder did. Like in real time, I just kind of hopped on it while I was like lying in bed or something. And of course, the inevitable fan question is, "Oh, when you gonna release the Snyder Cut, man?" Came up, and I was like, "Okay, here we go again with the usual." Like, I mean, like it's not finished. It's kind of finished. It's on my laptop. I can't really release it. And then Zack Snyder just freaking points the camera to the screen and says, "Boom! Zack Snyder's Justice League coming 2021, you fools." I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah, what's funny is that like HBO Max was like at the bottom of like my money investments that of like streaming services that I wanted to get. But
Hmm.
as soon as they did that, that was like the streaming service I was most like excited to get.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. When did HBO Max launch? It was like mid to late last summer, right? Or
I
somewhere
I
in the summertime.
I remember like I think it was like either May or June.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I know I signed up for it. I think day one because I got like a. It was like a promo. Like if you signed up before the release day, you got like a discount for like the first year. So, but yeah, I mean, with a lot of the projects they were announcing, I was like, I kind of signed up for it pretty early, but now it's like, oh, now we're gonna get the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Okay, cool. So not canceling that anytime soon.
Yeah, I didn't get it until Christmas when Wonder Woman came out
Mm.
was when I got it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got HBO just for that.
And then it crashed on me the first time I used it.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. You should have been there at the launch night when it happened because like how it was working was it was the HBO Go app was going to be converted into HBO Max at night. So I spent like a good amount of time just sitting at my TV, just like trying to refresh the screen, be like, okay, it's still HBO Go. This is not HBO Max. Fix it, dang it. And I was like, oh, okay, I give up. I'm going to bed. I'll try again in the morning.
Yeah, well like I would have done that, but like like I was actually going to like get like I timed doing the payment right as Wonder Woman came out, and
Mm.
then but then they had this stupid sign-in process where you had to get on your computer to get a code, and
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but
yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited for like all the other DC projects and the same day releases. It's kind of weird though when that thing first launched. Like the first title that I was like really like the original title they had that I was looking forward to was the talk show with Elmo.
Really?
Because like I don't know, Elmo is kind of fun, and they had John Mulaney as a guest, and then freaking Batman as a guest. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
Elmo, John Mulaney, Batman talk show. Okay, I'm sold.
yeah. Speaking of DC projects, we got new we got news about the Flash movie, including Supergirl,
Hmm.
and they casted Sasha Calle as Supergirl.
Yep.
I've never heard of Sasha Calle. This is a first time actress that I've heard of, but I guess she's in The Young and Restless, which is a
Mm,
show I have not seen.
yeah.
So, what's your overall thoughts on the direction they're taking with the Flash movie?
Well, with the Flash movie, it's pretty obvious it's kind of trying to serve as some sort of like soft reboot, like a Days of Future Past type movie,
Yeah,
but for DC, which I mean, so far I'm looking forward to it. I think it does have some promise. Andy Muschietti as the director. I like what he did with the It movies, so I'm looking forward to that. He's got a good relationship with Warner Brothers already, so hopefully, he'll be able to see his vision through properly. And also the fact that Michael Keaton's going to come back as Batman and like actually suit up too, that's got me really hyped for that. And I just overall I think it will be cool. I just hope that the multiverse stuff isn't going to be played up simply just for fan service, like a CW level thing.
oh yeah, the
Like, because I don't want it to ever just be like, oh yeah, remember that show from 15 years ago? All right, bye.
yeah. I do not want another Crisis on Infinite Earths situation where it's like they have Michael Keaton show up, then
And then
die,
die.
and
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. From what I've heard, from what I've heard, he's going to actually be a fairly crucial part of the movie. I guess he's going to kind of sort of be like the Flashpoint Batman from the comics and the animated movie, just not Flashpoint Batman. So I think that'll be kind of cool just to see number one Michael Keaton come back, get to revisit the Tim Burton aesthetic a little bit, and if he does have a good provides like a nice mentorship type role for the Flash. I think that'll be really cool. Although I think it would also be really nice if Grant Gustin cameoed in the movie, considering that
yeah.
Ezra cameoed in Crisis, so just make everything come full circle would be really cool.
I don't know. The only weird thing about the whole Flash movie is that, like, remember the Ezra Miller thing from like April? When, like,
No, no, what are you talking about? No, no, no. You want to go, bro? What? No, 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 no. I don't know what you're talking about. It did not happen.
I find it a little weird with the whole, like, like they haven't addressed the situation yet with the whole, like, I remember that whole thing kind of just came and went
Hmm.
like the Flash.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pay too great of attention to it as far as like the news feed and all that, but maybe it was resolved behind the
Yeah,
scenes and they just don't want to make a big deal about it. Because on and it might have just been like some weird one-time events. They could have just resolved it out of the public eye. Now, if word comes out that Ezra Miller is a serial choker, then
yeah.
that's like you might want to recast that guy, maybe. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, at least he's not Army Hammer.
Yeah, let's not go there.
uh, so, what are your thoughts on the Supergirl casting?
I'm all for it. I mean, there's been talks of Supergirl coming into the DCEU for ages now, so the fact that it's finally coming is cool. Kind of like what you said, I'm not familiar with the actress too much, but I'm sure they wouldn't cast somebody that won't do a good job with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with it. I just hope that her introduction to everything isn't like shoved in there, like last minute or something. Hopefully, it's like a natural part of the story. So I'm not quite sure how she's gonna fit into everything, but I'm totally down to see a Supergirl with a blockbuster level budget. No offense to the CW show, I actually do like Supergirl a decent amount, but it'll be cool to see that character on the big screen and not that one direct to video movie from like years ago that nobody
Oh,
likes to talk about.
I've actually never seen that one before.
Me neither. I'm too scared.
um, yeah, my only worry with bringing in all these characters to the Flash movie is that they're gonna like outshine Flash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that, but if I remember from the Flashpoint story, which the movie is loosely adapting, pretty much the bulk of the Justice League was in that movie to begin with, but it was still very much a Flash story. So, I hope they will find that balance, but I do understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do. Ben Affleck is also in that movie.
Yeah, that was definitely a big surprise.
I was shocked too because like I'm one of those people that like think that Affleck like I don't think Affleck's gonna reprise his role as Batman after Flashpoint.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't like. There's people like talking about how like tagging I like anytime Matt Reeves like I remember Matt Reeves posted something on Twitter and everyone's all demanding them to make Ben Affleck's movie. I'm like,
Like,
and I'm just
they didn't cancel it because they were like, screw you, Ben Affleck. It was like, Ben Affleck he said he couldn't get it quite right and didn't want to force out a turd, so he stepped away. I just think, unfortunately, for how good of a job Ben Affleck does as Batman, I feel like the role just came to him at like the worst possible time in his life, unfortunately. But
yeah.
I'm really happy that he is going to come back at least one more time. So at least if the Flash does become his final outing as the character, we can get some nice closure. So it's not just like Red Sky, Justice League, something's definitely bleeding,
Yeah.
blobbity blue. So at least that way, with the Snyder Cut and the Flash movie, he'll have a good send off at that point.
Yeah, but like yeah, I'm just glad that like they're giving him an outing and not just
Mm-hmm.
like um pushing him out and replacing him with Pattinson, which no offense to Pattinson, I think he's going to do a great job,
Oh yeah.
but at least he's getting closure. Um and also I don't think it's like the other thing people need to understand is like Ben Affleck, I don't think Ben Affleck even wants to do his solo Batman movie.
Yeah, not anymore at least.
Yeah.
Because for everything I've read, it's like he wanted to, and then he tried. Got Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke, and had this what sounds like a really cool story, but then all the pressures of making a giant movie like a Batman movie, and the poor reception to Justice League and Batman v Superman, just all this kind of stuff. It's like the spark I think just went out of him a long time ago, but like I mentioned, I think it's good that he's going to come back at least one more time, so it's not just like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It- okay, so steering away from the DC stuff, we got a brand new streaming service
Oh, yay, another one.
so at Paramount Plus, which it looks like
Mm.
this is replacing CBS All Access,
Mhm.
which I don't know, that streaming service, I remember when it was coming out, but it kind of just came and went. Uh, but what I find more interesting about the Paramount Plus stuff is the stuff they announced. So, like, I saw that they're doing a live action fair. Like, you watch Fairy Odd Parents, right?
Oh, yeah, I love that show growing up.
Did you know they're making a live action version of, well, like a live action show? Because technically, this is just like the second live action version. Because
Yeah, the Drake Bell movies. Yeah, I like the Drake Bell movies, but yeah, when I watched 3C's video on Paramount Plus, I was like, they're gonna do that again. Like, but you did hit that with Drake Bell. Like, why would you do it a second?
it's just hard for me to imagine like fair fairy odd parents like not as a cartoon.
Yeah, but the of course they're gonna try to cash in on as much Nickelodeon nostalgia as they possibly can, which I'm not totally knocking them for because some of it I'm kind of biased towards. Like when they announced the new Blue's Clues show was coming, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll watch it. You're good. And a couple other things like the Rugrats reboot they're doing and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
they're
Rugrats
yeah,
reboot.
it's like they're capitalizing on Nickelodeon nostalgia, but like Nickelodeon was a big part of my childhood, so I'm like, I'm kind of just automatically gonna go for it. So yeah, I'm in kind of like a weird pickle at the moment with all this stuff.
Yeah, but like I just find it funny how CBS Access didn't really do as well as they were hoping.
hmm Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really sound like a streaming service. It just sounds like, do you have cable at the moment? Or
No, I used to, but
yeah,
no,
same here. But yeah, like between shows, they would advertise like, "Oh, you can download this app where you can watch the shows on that too." So I think that kind of some people got confused about CBS Flex. It's just being one of those apps where you can watch shows the next day or something. So I think it's just one of those like mismarketing things. Now they're just rebranding it and be like, "Oh no, this is another Disney, HBO, Netflix type thing. You should download it, cut the cord, but also keep paying more monies."
yeah, I just find it funny how like they're taking the Disney model by just titling it Paramount Plus.
Yeah, a couple other services are doing that, like Discovery Channel. They've got one called Discovery Plus, which I only have it because Verizon, you can get it for like 6 months free, so I'm just trying it out. I think there's like one or two other using the Plus model. I'm like, can we stop with the Plus thing already? It's not that cool anymore.
I remember when I upgraded my phone over the summer, I got like a week free of what was it, QB that got
Quibi.
Quibi. I
Yeah.
got that a week free, and as I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't think I want to continue paying for this.
Yeah, Quibi's it's such a shame Quibi didn't work out, but because I think their heads were in the right spot, like short form or like high quality, content, but in very small, amounts like 10-minute episodes and stuff. I thought that was a really cool idea. The problem is they made the app like what you can only watch on your smartphone only, but like,
Yeah,
what's up with that nonsense? It's like I get a lot of people who use their phones for kind of stuff, but I don't want to watch my high quality, high profile show, like this.
it's like I am not like if HBO. The thing is like if HBO Max was on just a mobile device only, it's like I don't want to watch Game of Thrones on my smartphone.
Exactly. I mean, or at least not preferred. I'd rather watch it on my TV, but if I had to watch it on my phone in a pinch, that'd be fine. But yeah, exactly.
I watched WandaVision episode 6 on my phone because I was on a road trip.
Oh, really? I just watched episode 8 on my phone because my internet's been acting like a bad person the last few days, so none of my streaming apps are working properly on my TV, so I'll just lay in bed just sitting like I want to watch this in 40-inch
Yeah,
television broadcast, but I just got to suffer like this.
WandaVision episode 6 was a funny story because like my mom was driving and like we were going to Chicago and like she was hitting speed bumps and of course like the road conditions were terrible because of
Uh,
the weather. So
mhm.
like I was getting like sick trying to watch it. To make it worse, I had eaten candy.
Oh,
So like I was feeling so sick, and that
like, Mom, slow down. Evan Peters is on screen again.
yeah, and then
Uh,
unfortunately, like I had to spoil it for her because me and my sister got her hooked on the show, and we only got her caught up this morning.
oh, yikes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So,
back to Paramount.
uh, yeah, I don't really like. I don't know if I'm gonna get this streaming service like right away.
I'm probably gonna get it right away, honestly, just because next week they launch right, and they're gonna have the new SpongeBob movie, which I've been dying to see for like the last freaking year. Because it got pulled out of theaters because pandemic and all that, and then in like certain international markets like Canada, they got the theatrical release and all that. Then it got like a Netflix release in Canada. And I was like, just really wanting to see this movie, so I'm gonna get it just for that, so I can talk about it.
Uh,
And then also there's that spin-off called Camp Coral, where they're all in camp and it's
oh
3D
yeah,
animated, and it just totally stomps on the continuity and Steven Hillenberg, but I'm kind of gonna watch it just so I can make a video complaining about it.
you gotta get those views.
Yeah, and also it's like I love SpongeBob. It's one of those shows that really sticks with you, like all the memes as the last couple of years have shown. So it's like it's something that I want to talk about, so I can hopefully create something cool out of it. So
Yeah, I also saw like Mission Impossible 7 and A Quiet Place 2 are going to be released there after 45 days.
hmm
Uh,
yeah, suddenly the HBO Max model doesn't sound so crazy after they can release their movies when they plan to. So I guess they're just trying to jump on that bandwagon a bit until things go back to normal a little bit.
yeah, um, but yeah, I can't say I'm surprised that, like, to be honest, I can't say I'm surprised at any of studios' decisions. Like, honestly, like, I'm surprised that like every studio does. Like, I'm surprised there isn't like Universal Plus or
Well,
what?
there,
Oh
well,
no!
there kind of is with that new show with that thing, Peacock.
Oh
That
yeah,
basically their selling point is we have The Office because we took it off Netflix. Now give us money, bitch.
yeah.
I don't have Peacock. I have no intentions of getting Peacock unless they start producing some quality original content. So,
The only reason I have it is because it's on my Roku thing and it's free. But like,
oh yeah, because there's a free version and there's like a paid version if you like want. Okay, yeah, that's right.
but I haven't even used it. Like,
Oh,
the only time I like, and like, I would use it for The Office, but I have it on The Office set on DVD.
see, that's the right move there. I've got the first 3 seasons on DVD, but they came out with a Blu-ray box set like back in December, so I just need to pony up the money and get that so I can be like, I don't need you, Peacock, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Although it is kind of a bummer though, because it was kind of because the way I would watch The Office, for like after I went through it in full a few times, I would just kind of like put on an episode or two from season two just to kind of have in the background or just watch it because I'm like at family's house just to have some background noise. So it's like that kind of convenience it'll be missed, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep going on the physical media train and just get that whole series so I don't have to worry about it getting taken off another streaming service.
yeah. It's like, at least with physical media, we don't have to worry like about some big studio head, like, because like, imagine if like with physical media, like some big studio head came into our house and like ripped our and like say they took my copy of 12 Angry Men.
Be like, oh, sorry, you cannot watch The Croods: The New Age this way. Bye bye.
uh,
Yeah.
so the the last piece of news. So you are you a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I mean, who isn't?
So I guess like now they are like after the creators stepped away from the live action adaptation, they're now like starting their own like Avatar studios.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, and like we're getting like an animated movie which I'm really excited for.
Oh man, yeah, seeing an Avatar movie on the big screen that doesn't have blue people or James Cameron, I'm in.
Or directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
I still haven't seen that one. I'm too afraid to see The Last Airbender, to be honest with you.
No, I'll be honest, I haven't seen that movie all the way through.
Mm,
Like, I just did not have any interest in like finishing it.
mm.
And I owned it at one point on DVD.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
before the Blu-ray hype.
yeah. I'll probably get around to seeing it eventually, but I'm in no rush to.
I, I like hardly remember it, but like so this gets me actually excited because like when the original creators left the live action series, I did not get very excited to see it. And I'm
Hmm.
depending on what the reception is, I might not even watch it. Like,
Yeah.
because like I'm the type of person with TV shows where it's like if you don't have me hooked within at least the first 4 episodes, like I I can't count how many season like there's very few TV shows that I've actually watched from start like all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of the streaming model for you there. It's like you gotta hook you like that, otherwise they're not gonna get you at all.
Like Iron Fist, I've seen 3.5 episodes of that show and I couldn't get into it.
I don't think I've seen even that many of Iron Fist.
Yeah, like if I started the 4th episode and I fell asleep
Oh.
and like I've been meaning like and like when season 2 was coming out, the same thing happened. I go to rewatch season 1. I well, rewatch what I've seen of season 1. I fall asleep at the 3rd episode, or the 4th episode. It's like
Oh, so you don't need melatonin pills, you just need to watch episode 4 of Iron Fist, apparently.
it, it's cinematic NyQuil is the perfect way to.
Yeah, I keep meaning to watch that show because the only Marvel Netflix shows I really ever pay attention to are Daredevil and Jessica Jones mainly. I do like I I like The Punisher. I kind of started watching it like a year ago and I didn't get back to it. I intend to get back to it, but I want to watch everything that the Marvel Netflix universe has done just because I'll feel more complete about myself if I do. But it's just like Iron Fist really wasn't grabbing my attention like Daredevil or Jessica Jones did. Luke Cage, I haven't really seen hardly enough of to make an opinion on, so I'm not even going to mention it.
Second, I never saw the second season of Luke Cage
Mm.
because, like, it was weird with the second season of Luke Cage because I knew it was coming out, but like I completely forgot it came out. And I didn't even realize it had come out until like I went to watch Daredevil season 3. That's how behind on the times I was.
Yeah.
But
That's kind of how Netflix works sometimes. It's like, "Oh, boom, there's a new season of a show." Like, "Wait, what?"
13 Reasons, that was like when anytime a new season of like 13 Reasons Why comes out,
Ugh.
Yeah. Um,
I liked the first season, but everything after that was just cash grab
yeah.
BS. I'm sorry.
Oh, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what they're gonna do with the Avatar Studios stuff. I got so excited that I punched
Hmm.
my phone. But yeah, this has me really interested to see what they're gonna do with the world of Avatar.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna be about, though.
Yeah. But I think it is kind of cool they're continuing this world because, kind of going back to the Nickelodeon nostalgia thing or Nickstalgia, if you will. It's one of those shows a lot of people like, our age grew up with and it stuck with us for so long. So, they're trying to go back. They're realizing that it's not just one of those, hey, we can just, do a crappy reboot for a couple of dollars. It's like, let's actually continue the world and the lore and all that. And truth be told, I haven't seen any Legend of Korra. It kind of came on as I was starting to grow out of Nickelodeon generally. So I plan to watch that show eventually. But, it's like if the original creators are involved and they want to continue this world that so many people have fallen in love with, go for it, see what happens. I'm down.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So now the next topic is more of a discussion about physical media versus streaming.
Oh, I've got some opinions on that.
So I think it's no secret, like on my channel, hardly anyone else watches my live streams. It's mostly my Blu-ray videos that do the best.
Same.
Yeah, and so that kind of gives me hope that I think there's somewhat of a future for physical media, and that I honestly don't think it's gonna die anytime soon, like a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Excuse me.
It's like I don't think like studios would be like putting as much like investing so much to make like a steelbook or a
Yeah.
box set if they thought like there's no market for physical media.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the physical media market is not what it used to be, but I think these studios realize that there's still a big push for it because people don't like relying on streaming all the time. Like I mentioned, like at the beginning of this, my internet's been out of whack like the last week or so. So Netflix, Disney Plus, like none of that's been working properly. So I've been just relying on my DVDs and Blu-rays for nightly entertainment. So it's like, oh, look at that physical media to the rescue and all that. And also, it's like, the tangible thing of like seeing it on the shelf is a lot more satisfying. And, with steel books, it's like it's a more like fancy package of cool artwork, and you feel like you could protect yourself from a bullet if it happened or something, if you had to in a pinch. But it's kind of like vinyl records with music. It's just like some people just think it sounds better on vinyl than it does on digital or a CD. Movies look better on Blu-ray than they do on streaming because you don't have to worry about buffering and things like that. So there's just like a nice little subculture there, I think.
Like I s- like I use streaming services almost every single day. Like
Hmm.
I will admit, like I'm watching Game of Thrones right now. I think HBO Max's streaming quality is absolute crap at times.
It can be, yeah. Like anytime I turn on a show or a movie, it'll be weirdly compressed and pixelated for a few seconds, and then usually it's fine after that. But it's like if I just had the physical version, this wouldn't happen.
Well, it's like with Wonder Woman 1984. Like I don't know if you watched it on HBO Max.
I did the second time I saw it in theaters first.
But like to me, I felt the colors were a little washed out,
Mm.
at least from my experience. I mean, I've gotten a new TV since then, but
Yeah, I didn't pay too great attention to the colors on HBO Max because I think I was bedridden with the flu or something when I watched it on HBO Max. So, but yeah, man, it's just one of those things where it's just the consistency is not always there when it comes to digital versus the physical. The physical is going to look exactly the same every single time. So it's just kind of one of those almost nitpicky things that some people care about, others don't. It's just part of the never-ending struggle, I guess.
Yeah, but I will say I think Disney has done a really good job with the picture quality on Disney Plus.
Hmm.
Like,
And also, they don't upcharge for 4K, which is nice.
yeah, like, um, Mandalorian looks phenomenal on a 4K TV.
Hmm. And on your phone too, actually, which is nice.
Um, it, and then, but I mean, I even think Netflix has done some not like Netflix has some not so great picture quality at times.
Mm. Yeah, sometimes. Do you have like the HD package, or do you have the 4K package for Netflix?
Uh, I think I don't know if I don't pay for my mom pays for the stuff.
Oh,
Uh, I'm that type like I'm still a minor, so but like
oh. And no shame there. We were all minors at some point.
um it was one of those things when it's like I don't know like which version she pays for, but anytime
Oh.
I go for it, like go to use it, it has like the my TV has it where it's like the HDR in the corner before to let you know HDR mode is on.
Mm.
Um
So it sounds like she pays for the 4K. So yeah, yay on you, mom. I don't pay for 4K Netflix. I'm like, what's the point?
yeah, like
If it was free like Disney Plus and HBO, hallelujah. But I just can't see spending more money because I already have I have too many damn streaming services already, so I don't need to pay any more right now.
and there's like a million more on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna see a streaming market crash, I think, at some point.
Yeah,
Just people aren't gonna, spend $100 a month on, 8 streaming services. So
I mean,
I mean, they might, but
I think another great thing streaming services have done is they have provided directors platforms to have creative control.
hmm yeah, I think that's one of the best things about streaming, especially Netflix, because it's like the floodgates can open up and you can just make virtually anything you want, even on the TV side of things. How
Yeah,
many Netflix shows can you think of that just drop F bombs and have all kinds of nudity and stuff where it's not,
Game of Thrones.
it's like it's kind of like the Wild West. I hope that doesn't change because I think that's why we're in like the golden age of TV shows right now, is because streaming gives you that kind of freedom.
Like how many like regular TV like shows that air on like cable do you watch versus the amount of streaming shows you watch?
Well, I don't really watch cable anymore. I think the last time I actually uh used cable was back during like Crisis on Infinite Earths and the ending of Arrow season 8, because Arrow is my favorite of the CW shows. So
Mine too.
like after that ended, I was like, I don't really need you that much, so
Yeah,
bye. And honestly, I don't really miss cable. Back like 7, 8 years ago when streaming was on the rise, and they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be the death of cable." I was like, "Oh, don't say that. I like my cable." But now it's like, screw cable.
yeah. Like honestly, like um, w- I mean, like I think the last like the only show like I watch that airs on normal cable is The Walking Dead, but even that I
Uh,
just wait for Netflix.
yeah,
And I
because
watching lately.
Yeah, does AMC have one of those crappy little apps you can watch like the episode the day after or anything like that?
They have a AMC Plus, which
I like another plus. That's cool.
they I just noticed that. But like it's a fine, like it's a decent little thing. I don't really use it anymore
Yeah.
because honestly, the past few years, even though I've enjoyed the more recent seasons, I'm still kind of soured because they unfortunately took things in a direction that with some of the characters that has done permanent damage to the show, and it
Mm,
had to deviate from the comics.
mm,
Um,
yeah. You have.
Walking Dead or not.
I've seen. It's one of those shows I want to get into more just because of the hype and the fandom. I've seen like through season one, I think, because season one's only like what seven,
Six,
8, 9 episodes, something like that.
six. I think it's like
Yeah,
six
yeah.
episodes.
So I've seen I think all of season one, and then when I went to Universal Studios in like 2017, I went to the Walking Dead attraction they have there. So that's as far as my Walking Dead fandom is going. So it's still on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's one of those things I'll hopefully get around to eventually, but I'm not a huge zombie person, just but I hope to get around to it eventually because I want to see it for myself too.
Honestly, like zombie media, I don't think is the best anymore outside. Like, it's like there hasn't been very many good zombie movies lately, but
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
Train
there's
to
just
Busan was great. Uh
oh yeah, I've heard.
um but like the last like before Train to Busan, it was like Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland were the last few great zombie movies in my opinion. And then
Maybe that's all you need, right?
yeah, but I
Just
mean
have a
uh Last of Us and Last of Us 2 have been kind of my and the Resident Evil games are pretty good.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I've played a tiny bit of the first Last of Us game, when all the hype and subsequent bitching and moaning about Last of Us 2 was around. I was like, I want to finally play Last of Us. I've only played like a tiny bit of it. And I like what I've played so far, but it's not ultimately the kind of games I like to play just because I guess I'm kind of more like a classic kind of guy when it comes to that. Trying to want to play characters that I couldn't really be in real life. Like the Batman games where you can be this unstoppable badass vigilante with all kinds of gadgets. Like that appeals to me more than just playing a mortal, like a regular guy that just is trying to go through the apocalypse. I don't know. That's probably like a really crappy take on those games. I'll give it a proper chance at some point, but I just hope the HBO show turns out well, so I can just put all my attention to that. Be like, oh yeah, it's the cinematics and the story I like, the gameplay. Okay.
yeah, the I'm pretty excited about the HBO show because we're getting my boy Pedro Pascal as
Hmm.
well.
That's some quality casting. I love all the love that Pedro Pascal has been getting lately because I think it's well deserved.
Like, what's weird is I knew he was on Mandalorian, but I don't know. I don't know if I should say it was the Geeks and Gamers channel made a video trashing him about some Instagram post he made, and he retweeted that video saying "Stay on top of it," and I'm like, that was a real like
Yeah.
that like I just find it funny about that whole situation. Uh, but like, what's funny is like I just see people whining about them not getting it, I forgot what his name was, but like there was a certain actor everyone was demanding for Jewel.
Oh,
Nikolai. It was Nikolai.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Who
But
was?
it was Nikolai Coster-Waldau, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah. I think there was somebody else that were campaigning for him
I
for
know
that character, but
Mahershala Ali was.
yeah, he was rumored to be
Uh,
talks for it. Yeah.
Everyone also wanted Hugh Jackman and Josh Brolin.
Yeah, I think they just want Hugh Jackman so they can like have a spiritual successor to Logan.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
honest, like when I was kind of one of those people that like even though I think Hugh Jackman would have done a good job, it was one of those situations where it's like it's kind of just the stunt casting.
Yeah, so I think casting someone like Pedro Pascal was the way to go because he's a
Yeah,
great actor, and I could definitely see him in that part. But it's not the one that everyone was expecting necessarily. So I
I
think
was
that
expecting it.
yeah, I think that's just kind of like the best casting overall. You know, it's kind of like both Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson as
Yeah,
Batman. It's like you don't expect someone like those two to take on a character like that, but then they do, and it's like, oh, that's genius.
yeah. But yeah, the thing I hate about fan casting is it's like a lot of the people that come up with these don't only think about looks and not if they're an actual good actor or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I think there's only been like a couple real instances of fan castings coming true though, right?
Rosario Dawson
Yeah,
was
like yes, Ahsoka. Yeah, and everyone of course is campaigning for John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie, which I'm totally down for. But I also feel like it's not going to happen. I feel like they're gonna pick somebody more like more of an unknown, I guess. You know, kind of like go a
yeah,
Tom Holland route and just build a superstar from there, kind of thing. But you know, if John Krasinski does get the part, I'm totally down for that.
yeah. What other instances of fan castings coming true have there been?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure because Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka is the one that comes to mind immediately. Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
To be honest, I'm not really into the whole fan casting thing because it's like and like anytime I say there's a certain actor I want for a role, it never happens. So like I don't
Yeah,
get hopes up that they're gonna cast that actor.
yeah, it's just more of a fun. Hey, let's Photoshop this actor into this role, kind of thing. Just kind of like just to kind of pretend for a little bit. You know, it's like I would love to see like Bryan Cranston play Mr. Freeze one day, but that's probably not going to happen. You know.
Uh, I always thought the most popular choice for the one I see going around Twitter is Giancarlo Esposito.
As Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's the one I want, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not because he's
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
because it's getting to the point with Giancarlo Esposito that he's gonna be like every single villain on TV.
Yeah, probably because that guy only knows how to play villains apparently. Which I mean, he does a great job at that. But I don't know. I feel like he'd be more fit for like a Magneto type role if they wanted to go a slightly different direction with Magneto in the MCU. But yeah,
Some people want him for Professor X as well, but
I could kind of see that too. Honestly.
I think Magneto would suit him.
Yeah.
It's also like when it comes that's the other thing, like people ask me who I want to be MCU Wolverine and I'm just like
How about
it
we don't have an MCU Wolverine for a little while? How about that?
yeah, it's like it's so like I kind of hope that when they introduce the mutants we kind of focus on some X-Men characters that didn't get the spot.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
I feel the same way. Like, give us Wolverine eventually, but build him up a little bit. And have some post-credit scene at some point. Be like, "Oh no, Weapon X escaped," and see some claw marks on the wall. That'll get people cheering in the theater. But kind of go like what the MCU was trying to do from day one. Give some non-A-list characters a spotlight for a while, and then give us the A-list characters after a while.
it's like like there's so many X-Men characters that I could think of from the movies that they completely just sidelined.
Mhm.
Oh, my dad is in the chat.
Oh, really?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
This is like uh we're just talking about X-Men now.
Yeah, we were talking about, like, Paramount, but then it somehow delved into this.
I think then we yeah, but then but yeah, don't I it's like there's so many X-Men character like Angel. They
Mm,
both Apocalypse and Last Stand.
didn't really do a whole lot with the character, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Uh
opening scene of Last Stand, though, where, the young Angel was trying to, cut off his wings and hide it from his dad to not look like a mutant, that was a great scene in that movie, but
they just like it's like then he had like uh
then he had washboard abs, and he flew out the window, and that was about it.
well, like I remember he showed up at the X Mansion with his suitcase, and then it
Mm,
transitioned to like some great speech or something. I haven't seen a X3. I don't think I've seen it since Days of Future Past came out.
mm,
Uh, but like I remember like it was some speech. My dad actually liked The Last Stand.
yeah.
Um
Yeah, I don't think it's a horrible movie, but it's definitely a step down from the first 2 movies.
It just feels like it had a lot of great ideas that felt like they were crammed into one
Yeah, and
piece.
also the big problem was, Brad Ratner directed it.
Yeah, they
I don't
like
like that guy.
oh well, especially now, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But uh like I just think that they crammed so much into one movie that like the Phoenix story I think got sidelined.
Yeah, they just totally killed off Cyclops like it was nothing.
And like honestly,
Yeah.
I think that that like Angel should have had like his own X-Men Origins movie.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
we can only hope that, the MCU will do them justice a bit more.
they it's also like they casted Ben Foster, who's a fantastic actor.
Mhm.
Um
Wow.
uh
Somebody oh.
series Dunzo now. It yeah, it ended with New Mutants, which I still have not seen yet.
Yeah, don't rush to go see that. It's not awful, but it's not great either. It kind of exists.
Yeah, I thought with like I actually thought about making that my return to the movie theater, but it didn't seem like the type of movie that's worth seeing in the theater. And I've been meaning to rent it, but I just haven't like I'm watching like currently I'm watching Game of Thrones Better Call Saul.
Mm.
So those shows have been
Those have been the focus.
yeah, and then I have yeah, and then I've been taking advantage of the whole HBO Max thing. So like I
Mhm.
watched half of Tom and Jerry yesterday, but then I had to leave uh
Oh.
um and I just haven't really had the chance to finish it yet, and I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
going to or not.
Yeah, I actually saw Tom and Jerry in theaters last night, and I enjoyed it.
Uh,
Uh,
do you think there will be a hard reboot? I just cannot imagine the franchise without Hugh Jackman. I, I just think like they should focus on other X-Men characters other than Wolverine, like I said earlier.
mhm.
'Cause it's like the thing the movies like I felt forgot to understand is that there are more mutants than just Wolverine.
What? There are?
um
It's because the character got so popular. It's like, oh yeah, we got to capitalize on this character as much as humanly possible. So,
like, I think they should give focus to characters like Jubilee.
what
like
are you talking about? She was in X-Men Apocalypse for like 2 minutes. What more do you need?
yeah, we need to give focus to characters like Jubilee. Nightcrawler, I felt, was it's like I wonder if the screenwriters even remembered Nightcrawler was in X2 when writing X3.
That's a good point, actually. I
like
know he showed up in the tie-in video game for X-Men 3, but other than that, they're like, oh yeah, that guy.
and like
Oops.
also Kitty Pryde. Um,
Yeah.
I felt like there's so many great X-Men characters that like I think for the MCU that like I think give other mutants the spotlight and
Mhm.
introduce Wolverine sometime down the line. Because I mean, it's
Yeah.
also hard for me because like Logan came out like 4 years ago now, I think, coming
Yeah.
up. Uh, so it's hard for me to imagine the whole thing with the
With a
like,
brand new Wolverine already. Yeah.
like, I mean, like I could sort of see Kit Harrington as Wolverine, but like
Yeah, but he's in Eternals now, isn't he?
no, that's Richard. Is Kit? That's a good.
I think he is actually.
I remember Richard Madden. I know who's like who plays Rob Stark on Game of Thrones is in Internals, but I haven't heard anything about Kit Harrington. I'm going to.
Yeah, I think he's playing a character. I'm not positive though, because I have kept up absolutely little on Eternals so far.
He is, and that's kind of funny that that Richard Madden and Kit Harrington are having kind of a re- uh
Yes, please.
um
Actually, you know what? The only character I want back from the original and Fantastic Four was Michael Chiklis. The Thing, that was perfect casting. You could fight me on that, but that's
yeah,
how I feel. Also, the fact that Thing was a practical costume in those movies, I thought was great. Unlike Fan Stick, he was just a rock monster with no genitals, which was just kind of creepy.
yeah, that I don't know, like I'm more curious about how they're gonna about the Fantastic Four in the MCU than I am with the
Hmm.
X-Men characters because like
The X-Men have had good movies.
yeah, and I just want to see them done justice on the big screen for
Yeah,
once. And like
yeah.
it's like I was actually excited for Four Stick, and then
And then it happened.
yeah, like I think my expectations, like the closer we got to the movie, like, and then the whole uh
Everything that came out about the movie right before it came out. Mhm.
yeah, soured me.
Yeah.
My dad says that he enjoyed those Fantastic Four movies a little bit more than he should have.
Hey, I like the original Fantastic Four movies myself, just because I was a kid when they came out, so it was like I was I was like kind of in the middle of superhero craze at the moment. But I look back on them and they're not perfect at all, but I still enjoy them. I got a soft spot for early 2000s superhero movies just because I was right smack dab in the middle of a lot of them when they came out. So,
I mean, I still have a soft spot for Batman Forever.
I mean, that's an underrated movie right there, but yeah, I can see that.
But I'm trying to think of what other like bad movies I have a soft spot for. The prequels I have a soft spot for,
Mm,
even though I don't think they're great movies.
yeah.
That's about it I could think of just by looking at my collection. Um, the live action Scooby Doo movies.
Oh, I mean, those are classics. Those aren't bad movies at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, Matthew Lillard is perfect as Shaggy.
Hmm. Yeah, those movies are a fun time.
I will forever pine for Tim Burton's Superman movie. Did you ever see that one documentary by John Schnepp called The Death of Superman Lives?
I have not. I've been meaning to, but that along with 8,000 other movies I've been meaning to watch, but yeah.
It's a really interesting documentary that kind of like they interview kind of like the different factors, like they talk about like the different factors about what went wrong in the development process with it.
Mm,
It's a movie that like, and then of course we got to have the Nick Cage with the mullet as.
hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
with Crisis on Infinite Earths, the rumors were speculating about who was coming back. I was just hoping, like, and I knew it when it happened, but like Nick Cage's Superman needed to happen. I'm
Oh man,
still hoping that the Flashpoint movie.
that would be amazing if they did that.
I don't know if you could hear it, but my dogs are freaking out right now.
Nah, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I guess they want to see Nick Cage as Superman too.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's one like that's like a because like I always find it interesting with like the can't like looking at like all the different canceled superhero projects they had. Um, like I don't know if you've ever watched Cut Short before.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of his videos.
I found like he hasn't posted any recently, but I found a lot of his videos to be interesting because like there's like the canceled Batman and Robin sequel.
Batman Triumphant, I think, with the Scarecrow.
Yeah, I also heard like and then there was like this canceled Green Arrow movie they made. Well, they
Hmm.
didn't make it, but like they adapted it into Arrow season 7.
Yeah, the Escape from Supermax. Yeah.
I actually thought that's my brother's in here.
Ah,
I'm I'm
shut up, man.
Hey, yo, what's up, stream? Do you want to crash the stream or something? Are you still podcasting? Yes, I'm podcasting.
Get out, mom. We're busy.
I don't want to. I was about to, and I was like, no.
This is why, like, this is the This is why I have a hard time getting a good streaming schedule.
Yeah, I can relate. I mean, not with the live stream so much, but it. This is a new filming setup I've got, and it used to be just in my bedroom. Where if my mom was home, it's like, all right, if you knock on that door, try needing something while I'm filming, I'm gonna lose it.
Like,
I never do, but it's like I'm trying to make YouTube videos, mom. Leave me alone.
what we really need at some point, like, to get this thing, to get like my view count going,
Is it a more reasonable hour?
yeah, like what I need to get like out of context, clips,
Out of context.
like
Joey's movie blog, out of context. I can see that Twitter
yeah,
account.
we need to have it like John Campia's show.
Oh, just random clips everywhere, and you're like, maybe I should check this show out eventually.
Yeah, like I don't know if you saw John Campia's rant about the Robert Pattinson not working out.
What are you
Like,
doing, man? Just sitting on your ass and making millions of dollars. Good. Yeah.
it was like, what else are you doing? You're sitting at home in a pandemic where you're eating mac and cheese. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I like. I'm a fan of John Campia, but I'll admit that he takes things a bit
Yeah.
like. I saw his out of context thing when he was talking about Vision's whole like brain like swapping the minds, or well, like I'm trying to think about how to explain it. When like he's like unbrainwashing people or something, but John Campia refused, he called it fingering. And that clip is going out. I guess my dad wants to steal the phrase out of context for his channel.
You might have to fight a few other people for that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really all that there is to talk about today on this stream.
Yeah, talked about DC, talked about Nicolas Cage, talked about Paramount, and then went down some sort of weird rabbit hole I can't quite pinpoint when we get to that point, but yeah.
We also got views because my family crashed my stream.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so before we go, where can everyone find you on the internet?
Well, for starters, you can find me on YouTube on my channel, The Brockopp Side. Same name as my Instagram account, and you can find me on Twitter at Cody Brockopp. You can just make sure you spell my last name right, because most people do not.
See, when I first found your channel, I always forgot to like I couldn't spell your name, so like I had to go to someone else's channel and go to their
man.
yeah,
that's part of why I named my channel based on my last name, because it's like, I am so tired of people getting it wrong. I'm gonna make the entire world learn, even if it's the last thing I ever do.
See, everyone even misspells my last name because they think there's a U instead of a E. And then I was at a mock trial thing, and then one of the other people on my team was misspelling it. Despite the fact that I've known the person since middle school.
Yeah, I don't understand why my last name is so hard for some people. I have heard it been verbally butchered so many times. Like one person in high school, I think maybe it was middle school, they called it like Baraka. Apparently, like that's like a Mortal Kombat character or something.
I was thinking Barack Obama.
I have never heard that one before. Damn, I need to capitalize on that now. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the Barack Obama side. Oh man, okay. That's a good one. I've never heard that one before.
I don't know how I'm supposed to finish this show out now.
I don't know. I mean,
so tune in next week where I'll be discussing the entire first season of WandaVision. And I will see you guys next time.